Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to send some links out. Hopefully, we'll get it working right this time. Let's go to Twitter. Tweet that. And let's get it on Facebook. This. Share my time. All right. And let's see. Let's see if I can share it to my page. And sometimes it can't. Okay. It appears to be there. Check something. Oh, wow. Let me move my hand real quick. Well, a little bit quick. The lag time here is... Okay, there it goes. All right, so it looks like things are indeed happening right now. So without further ado, if you can read this or hear me. Yeah. All right, so this Snake Eyes sketch Mike Zeck did it last week, not last weekend, weekend before last, and I didn't have a chance to ink it before the person that needed it left on Saturday. So took it home and finishing it up now. In fact, all I got to do is really fill the blacks in. I see somebody's joined me. Is there a chat? Do you see a chat? If y'all can see the chat, if you can just type in that you can hear me, or there we go. There's somebody. Hey, how you doing? Sorry if I don't know many of you right now. I've been trying to set up a stream for a while, actually since the beginning of the year, and just time and other things have prevented me. You can see the chat and can hear. Oh, great. That's good to know. Because I will probably be doing another one of these later tonight, and I wanted to make sure I had everything set up to be able to go ahead and do it. So thanks for letting me know that you can indeed hear and that you can see the chat. And as I said, this is my first time doing a live YouTube. I've uploaded a few short videos from time to time, but they're no longer available, I don't think. So without further ado, hang in there with me. Basically, I'm just going to be filling in some black areas and chatting. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will answer them to the best of my ability. And if you have anybody that you'd like to tweet this or share it with, I'd appreciate it. I don't know how. I don't actually see. So on here where there's a subscribe, if you feel like subscribing to the channel, I don't see a subscribe thing. I see the little thumbs up, thumbs down. So maybe that's something I don't see on my end of the video. Now that that's out of the way, um, let's begin. And I'm going to try to stay out of the way. I haven't got my camera quite set up. Yeah, see, it's backwards. Gotta figure this stuff out. And it's not that I'm illiterate on this stuff. It's just I've never done it and never used this platform. So having said that, yeah, it's a little complicated. To figure it out. And get up and running. And I did look at other platforms such as Twitch. But I don't know. I didn't really care for like all the stuff around the sides of the Twitch interface. It was just really cluttered and seemed to be distracting. There were animations and other stuff going on. So really what I did is stop even thinking about going on Twitch and decided I would use YouTube. I used to stream quite a bit in 2010, 2011, maybe 12. Maybe it started to lose by 2012. I can't remember on Ustream. In fact, for a while, excuse me, I used to have a Wednesday night show. That I would do a commission on. Wow, got a dry throat. Okay. Well, that's going to be annoying. Not only to you that are watching this, but to myself. So, as I was saying, if I get this figured out a little better, I'm going to attempt another. I have another Mike Zeck piece, a Batman to ink. Right now, I'm having trouble with the camera being right where I need to put my head. As I can see now on the video. I'm trying to position that differently. It's a work in progress. Trying to get, trying to just get on YouTube. And get the right camera angles, which I don't have right now. I understand that, unfortunately. I'm trying to work around that, which will be another little adventure, I suppose. But I'll get it right eventually. I looked at some help online today and figured out a few things through watching some YouTube videos of how to, how to get ready to stream. That was very helpful. I really respect the people that have been doing this for a while and have it down to a science. So having said that, I really appreciate now on this end of the camera, just getting your setup tight and in a way that it becomes comfortable. So I appreciate your hanging in there with me, All Gold Production. Subscribing. You may be my first subscriber. And maybe that deserves some sort of prize or something once I get a little bit ahead of schedule. How about that, huh? But yeah, I need to get this done and probably wrap it tomorrow. Something, if time permitting, which a lot of times at a convention, it doesn't happen. But I have my second set of eyes as Mike Zeck when we're at a show. We'll look over something once he's drawn it and I've inked it. And if we both give it the thumbs up, then no need to do any touch-ups or revisions, or, maybe we'll catch something like, something that needs to be finessed a bit. When you're on your own, you don't have that second set of eyes. So kind of in the best interest to set it aside. Look at it later and see if you missed anything or want to add something, or maybe just tweak something that you see after you've been done with it for a few hours or a day or two, if you have that luxury. Oh, well, I don't know if you were one or two either. I did see a subscription thing come in on my phone. I didn't know that even happened, but if somebody else, I know there was one subscriber. I don't know if perhaps that was myself. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things when you create a channel, you're subscribed to it. I'll have to look. Tell you the one thing that's pretty interesting here and pretty annoying at the same time is the lag time, and that what I'm doing, and then I look up at the screen, I would say, wow, it's probably a good 20 seconds 15, 20 seconds. Maybe that's a good thing, though, depending on what's being said or what I'm doing. I guess real time would not be a good for many reasons. Now, when I used to do my Ustream videos, I had my desk set up so that I could do anytime I wanted to. If I just wanted to stream and it wasn't Wednesday, but hey, I wanted to go live, I had it set up so that all I had to do was turn on the computer, fire up the webcam, and everything was lined up, ready to go. And eventually that's the goal here, is to have it set so that it'll be a better workflow. Yeah, actually the pit brushes, good eye on that. I like them for filling in the blacks. Now I'll show you. This is the one. I use this Kuretake. It's got a fine point. Hopefully these are going to be in the camera's eye. And it's got a bigger point for the outlining, the feathering, and stuff like that on the character. They have a little bit stiffer nib. So I like that in the inking. Gives me a little better control. What I like about the pit pens for filling in blacks and maybe a few other things occasionally is that they're a little more, I'm going to call it mushy. They're softer is a better term. And it actually feels more like I'm using a real brush rather than a synthetic. And that's why I actually do like filling in the blacks of these pieces with the pit brush. And I also have the, what do they call it? These, the big brush for when I get into the bigger area. Go around and get some of the finer areas with the big brush. Doesn't go out of my holding line for my black areas. And I can just really get in there with that big brush and finish off a piece pretty quick. Although now, having said that, these blacks will probably take a while to fill in because, number one, I'm doing it under recording myself and kind of got my head tucked under a camera in a sense, but kind of moved it. So that may not be a problem. Earlier I did see where like my jawline and cheek were beginning to come into picture. And I don't I mean, I don't care to be on the camera. I just, you know, I don't really care to, you know, I'd rather y'all see the art, not the side of my face. Because eventually I will be doing some streaming that different streams when I'm not working, maybe just discussing something with my buddy Craig Zablo, who I might try to get on a stream if I decide that I can do another one tonight. Yes, they are. I like I said, both tools I kind of use for different reasons. The Kuretake brush pen, I can bend it and get a nice thick to thin, and it takes a beating. The pit brushes are, and I will use them too for certain characters that need a softer look or a softer line on certain areas, and filling in the blacks. The Kuretake, like I said, being the stiffer, less flexible nib, it just doesn't feel as natural. And I really started using these at conventions for sketches, and I've developed a liking to both. Now, having said that, on projects, if I was still inking comics, I'm not so sure. I would select them as my tools to ink a book or a cover or what have you. I'd probably go back to traditional. The only reason I don't like carrying ink to conventions is I've done it before, and not to say that I won't in the future. But if you spill a bottle of ink or a cap full of ink or whatever, it can really mess your table up, and the artwork that you're working on is pretty much destroyed at that point. So adapting to surroundings is one of the things that led me to use at conventions. I know it's an odd time of day to be streaming, but I had this snake eyes pretty well done, the blacks, and like I said, this is being a test run. I figured it would be a good test. It's something that I don't need high concentration on. Something I can do and carry on a conversation without my friend and co-host Craig Zablo of the Stallone Zone website fame, and buddy of mine for about all of our lives. I also may try to get another pal of mine, Jared, the yard sale artist Albrecht, on with me later tonight if Craig for some reason can't make it. Or maybe we'll all three get on and I can kind of work and they can talk and I can field some questions. As Craig used to co-host when I did Ustream. We do Saturday shows, like Saturday Head Sketch, and he would basically come over and read any audience questions while I was working so that I could continue to have fun, but not have to keep looking up and dealing with chat, so it was a good team up. I appreciate that, All Gold, if I may call you All Gold, or if you have a name that you want me to call you besides your moniker name there. fact, maybe I've met you through email or a convention or something and just don't know it. And I tried this earlier, streaming, and didn't know how to, but I think I know now. I had a window hid. Starts it, so hopefully I can end it when it's time to end it and not let it just run. I basically just had to pull the plug, which, it worked, but not the proper way. I'd like to end a stream, so. I will give a plug that myself, my collaborator, many years and great projects, Mike Zeck, along with a who's who of comic book artists, will be appearing at the Baltimore Comic Con this coming weekend. And Mike and I will be there all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you're looking for a commission for Mike and I, like this one, I would suggest getting to Mike's table as quickly as possible and getting your request in. Because it tends to fill up within an hour and a half maximum of when Mike sits down. People are already hitting him up for commissions, and we do what we call a sketch commission here. So I think this is going to work out. I do know one thing that I'll share just on a personal side is I need new. I can't take these off. Oh yeah, loved working with Kelley. Great fun. So yeah, I need to get another pair of glasses that will allow me to work at a comfortable view, meaning a little further away. It's really funny. Throughout my work, I went from, well, I wore glasses. I've worn glasses since the 6th grade. I remember in school I don't know, whoever it was, somebody came around and did a vision test, basically reading an eye chart, and I thought I had no problems. I read the letters and numbers off like it was nothing, thinking that I had perfect vision. And about a week later, a letter came in the mail and said, "Hey, your son needs glasses. It would help him read the chalkboard." Not that I was uh, needing them full time as I do now, but I did need them for a little bit. So once you get glasses, you begin to rely on them. And through the years, I've went back and forth from there was a time where I would not need my glasses to work, and there was a time where myself working with them on, and now it's basically it's a combination of on and off again. It just depends on where I'm at, uh, how good the lighting is, how big the drawing is, or how small the drawing is. And yeah, so right now in this type of conditions, I need what I call work glasses because I only use them when I'm close up. Are definitely going to be in my future. I think my distance it's still fine. It kind of a long time ago it kind of leveled out, but as we age, you get the arms are too short vision, so to speak. Around 40 years old, that starts to happen. Yeah, that Zeck Artist Edition book is really good. And the same year, I believe that was 2015 when that came out. Graffiti did one on Kelley's Batman that I inked. So it was almost like, it was almost like I had two books out at the same time because in Kelley's book, I inked everything but an occasional cover here or there. So that was pretty much all me. And in Mike's Artist Edition book, I would say 85% of what's in there is inked by me. So both of those are very nice to have. It's nice to go back and look at that work from original art scans and just see what was doing. And also to see, what little stylistic changes I've been through in Mike and Kelley, and you pick up little things, and it's interesting to go back and revisit that stuff. So glad you picked one up. Doesn't put any money in my pocket, but you know what? I'm glad that you enjoy it. And thanks for picking it up. I'm waiting for Steranko to get his second one out. Although, to be honest, I haven't got through his first one because if you're like me, I start looking at that in any of these artist edition books, and especially the older ones where you see some notes and some yellowing on pages and white out and paste up, and the art's not so clean as some of it might be today. More interesting to look at brush strokes, mistakes, stuff like that. Okay, so I feel like I've got enough in here. or I can go to a big brush. Oh, hey, I didn't know you were on the Mike Zeck Facebook group. That's the one that just Ken Fry's just started, right? That's a nice group. Ken's doing a good job, and everybody is, you know, I, I I think it's really good. I'm trying to find the best, and I like I said, this is going to show Mike's signature backwards, I believe, and I know there's a flip camera. Do I got it? Mm, okay, here we go. I'm just now catching up. Oh, means I gotta probably do this. All right. And for those of you who are joining late or are watching this after the fact, yeah, let me do it this way. I don't think that's going to work though. I know how we're going to do it. Let's do it this way. I haven't signed it yet. I always sign them when I'm done inking. Mike signs them in ink. Yeah, see, that didn't do it, but, and I'm on delay. There we go. All right, so I pulled out a new big marker. To really get in here and hit these blacks. Hopefully, hopefully I'm saving this directly to YouTube so people can come back. Yeah, I know it's backwards on my end too. I know there's some setting in here to flip the camera. Uh, I'll have to work on figuring that out. Hopefully, it won't be that hard. And if it is, it'll just be for a while. I plan on getting into more streaming when I get back from Baltimore. Although I have a few jobs that I'm going to have to, they're commercial jobs, and I can't really stream those because of NDA. But what I am going to do, and if you're listening, if anybody watches this before Baltimore, I will honor as many as I can. Do my oh yeah, it's not. Okay, well that's good to know. I see I've read that wrong. Thanks for sharing that with me. Uh, well, if you're in Baltimore and you've watched this, you'll know a quick story that is affecting my extended family in the Philippines right now. And that's that my wife's father, my father-in-law, who is in the Philippines right now, lived there his entire life, grew up in a very rural area and has remained there. Very humble man. Has been diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer. So there's really nothing that can be done for him at this point, sad to say, except the portable. The problem right now is he had to get into a hospital, and some of the government hospitals were filled up, so he had to go into a private hospital, which is fine because you're probably going to get better treatment. Now, the qualifier being it's more expensive because the government doesn't subsidize it. So that's kind of fallen on our shoulders. And GoFundMe for him, which is kind of covered the first part of getting the diagnosis. And now that he's gotten diagnosis, another hospital bill coming either today or tomorrow whenever they release him and for his meds. So I know there's only 2 people watching this live, and that one of the people may be me because I am watching it, and the other might be you all gold. But I will put this back out there, and I'll announce again tonight that at Baltimore, if you come up to me and you want this is a 9x12 bus sketch. If you get one exclusively for me, because I can't discount Mike's work, but I can discount my own. But I also do these sketch combos with Mike, which is always nice because I enjoy inking Mike so much. But anyway, a head sketch from me that's normally $200, I'm going to discount to $100 to help get some additional funds coming our way so that we can have a little bit of a I already went through one kind of a battle chest of savings, and if you're a comics fan and you want to help out, then I'm willing to help the best way I can, and that's through my artwork. And I'll cut that price in half if you just mention that you heard this. And I will probably be taking some of those on live streams when I get back. That's kind of another reason which prompted me to get this finally up, because I know people like to see artists draw. I do myself, and if you're going to make a contribution or a donation, then I would like for you to be able to see your piece come to life before your eyes, so that you can share in the process. So I want to thank everybody who has contributed so far, and to anybody else in the future who can contribute to his needs going forward. He's basically been told that he's got 6 months to live. So there's a few other steps that we're going to try to take. Everything takes time, so one step at a time. I don't mean this to be a downer, but one step at a time. Next step is he's in a city far away from where he's lived his entire life as an adult man with his wife and kids, and one of those kids is my wife. And my wife talked to her sister in the Philippines today, and her sister said that Dad just said he wanted to come home because he knows he's already been told there's really nothing they can do for him. So, as I said, if you're in Baltimore, if you want a head sketch commission from me, similar to this, although this is Mike Zeck's, so keep that in mind. I'm not Mike Zeck. And I also don't draw the... Here's a funny thing. I do not draw the Punisher when I'm at a show, or even sometimes when I'm not at a show with Mike Zeck. Reason being, I consider Mike Zeck to be the Punisher artist, period. Mike knows how to draw the Punisher. He's just not a guy with dark hair, and some people have started giving him a broken nose or whatever. With Mike, it's a very distinct characteristic, and for me, it's especially in the eyes, how Mike draws the eyes. It really comes across eyes and kind of the snarl, kind of a little snarl on his lips. So I don't like to compete with that because I can't, and I don't like the way my Punisher looks when it's compared, or I compare it rather, to what Mike's done. So therefore, I've turned many people down that have asked, hey, can you do a Punisher? And I'll say, well, Mike's here. You want a Punisher, you want him. And people have told me, oh yeah, we're getting a Punisher for Mike, and we want your version. And at that point, I just kind of gracefully bow out and let them know that I appreciate them wanting to commission me to do a Punisher. But on the other hand, I would feel a lot more comfortable doing another character if they're up to that. So some are, some aren't. Some with the Punisher and they understand. We have a good laugh. I have a good laugh at it because I'm a chicken at that. I don't want to play who draws the better Punisher, Mike Zeck or John-Beatty. I know who's going to win that 100% of the time. And that's not putting myself down. That's just being realistic. For me, Mike established the look of the Punisher when nobody else really took the time to think about how he would look. And Mike's Punisher over the years has even grown. Yeah, Gold, I agree. Definitive Punisher artist. So I you know, it's one of those, it's kind of silly in a sense, but man's got to know his limitations, right? Let's see. I think I need to not make this. This is part of his mask, but I didn't want it to go right into black. So let's put a gray tone in here. I'm going to see if I need hatching the other way, but I don't think I do. I think I just need a little, and it's probably going to be small on the screen. So yeah, yeah, the black ink I was using back in the day was just Pelican yellow label that I would get at my art store, and it was really dense, really dark ink. Trying to get the picture in here. Really dark ink, and it worked perfectly through a pen nib or a brush. I could fill in black areas and erase over it, and I would have no graying down of the ink. Very rare. So the quality of everything has changed. Paper's not the same. Brushes aren't the same. Pen nibs aren't the same, and ink is definitely not the same. I have found that this Winsor Newton with the spider on it, this is a nice ink. Let's see, did I get it underneath the camera? Kind of. This is a good ink. It stays nice and dense. There. So that's a good one. I have this that I haven't unwrapped yet. This is a big bottle of ink from, I think it's, yeah, it's Black Sumi ink from Japan. This is very good ink. And this is a 12-ounce bottle right here. Give it a shake. This is what Pelican uses now. This is 8.45 fluid ounces, and I got it at a local supply store here. And for this little bottle, well, it's not even a pint, $25.50. I'm about halfway through it. It's still good too, though. Pelican, this is just their drawing ink A. I suggest this. I suggest the Sumi ink, and I suggest this Winsor Newton Black India ink with the spider on the label. Brushes, I will use in fact, we'll go over this in a video one time. We'll open up some supplies, and the Raphael Kalinsky 8404. It's got the orange butt on it. This is a number 2. I also have a number 3 that I haven't opened up. Now, I have heard that Winsor Newton brushes are beginning to get better, and I'm tempted to try one of those, and I probably will. I just haven't had a need for it right now. So anyway, I don't know how long I've been going here, but it's been a while. So I'm going to go ahead and put my signature on it. Call it done. And that will be shipped out to a person named Josh, who follows me on Twitter, I believe Facebook and Instagram also. So if Josh is going to see this, he will actually kind of get a better view of his snake eyes being inked than he would have at the convention. It was just a matter of not being able to get it done at the show. We're up against little sleep, hours of the show, signing for people and doing other sketches. Well, thank you, All Gold Productions. Yeah, I don't think Mike and I have lost a step at all. I think that Mike does not want to draw continuity anymore, such as storytelling or do an issue. But on the yeah, he's definitely knocking these out of the park. I know that when he adds the split lighting, cast shadows, and stuff on them, that they really turn out good. So I'm glad this worked out, and I'm going to try to end this stream. Hey, I want to say thanks again for keeping me company while I do this, and probably try to do this again tonight with a Batman drawing. Not sure how far I will get on it. Oh yeah, yep. Zeck is very, very strong at pin up and splash and cover art stuff, and his storytelling is really solid too. So anyway, let me see. I am gonna if I accidentally end this too fast, I am sorry, but it is my first time. So thanks for subscribing. Anybody that wants to subscribe, please do, because I will be streaming more. You can also hit the little, I think there's a little bell there that will notify you when I am on live through your phone or other device. So if you want to hit that too, that'll let you know when something's happening. And I appreciate it. And share this if you can. And maybe we'll see you back later this evening. Thanks again. For now, I'm going to sign off and have a great day. Take care.